back at, I'm calling this show Hanging with Andrew.
Oh, I like it.
So I have it on YouTube.
Okay.
So if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you. And subscribe or however that goes.
Yeah.
I'm not very, I don't know, keen on how all that works.
Same. And,
Yeah.
you know, I know there's ways that you can, like, make one video and it can go everywhere and do all this stuff. And I can't. I can't even figure out how to share the clips from Johnny.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, maybe we can figure it out together. I did my video with J-Rock, but I think it was just live. So I might have to ask him. But we just really talked about nothing. Like,
Yeah.
we talked about some stuff.
He's a cool dude. I like him.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. He's intuitive, and he asks good questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely a great host, greater than me, I'm sure. But
Well, I don't know.
I just like to sit here and have conversations and get to know people.
Yeah.
And so, LeAnn.
Yes.
And then your last name is pronounced?
Knipe.
Knipe. Okay, gotcha.
Knight with a P.
Yeah. So like knife, right? With the silent K.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so my stepdaughter, I hate saying that too. She's the best and I love her like she was my own. But so she graduated from Canyon Lake is where she went. And then she graduated with her bachelor's from West Texas A&M. And then she got her master's. It took all the way till her master's degree, which was just this past May, or was it May or August? I don't know. Sometime over the summer, May, that they finally got it right.
Yeah.
She's been called everything. She was like Mackenzie Nipe, Nipa.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like every single thing, Nippy.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's, I guess you can't be shocked that people are going to say it a little bit differently.
Correct. And then they never, if I say it over the phone, because you know how you had to do like T and P sound the same.
Yeah.
So I always say P as in Paul every time. And they're like, ma'am, I can't find you in the system. And I'm like, yep, look under Knight.
Ah, yeah.
And they're like, oh, here it is. You know.
Well, I'm glad to have you hang out here with me, learn a little bit more about you. Mm-hmm. So we just found out that you've been in New Braunfels since '86, or you moved around.
We moved from Houston in 1981, and we moved to San Antonio, and then we moved from San Antonio to Canyon Lake in 1986. But back then, New Braunfels was town. You know what I mean? Like, so if you couldn't get at the lake, which was pretty much everything, you had to come to town. So that was a big deal, you know. Come to New Braunfels.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
I mean, Canyon Lake's got some stuff now, but I mean, New Braunfels has got a lot of stuff now.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I know, comparatively speaking, like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But even back in the day, because I've been here since I was probably 4 or 5, right? So I'm 39, so 35 years. Growing up, like where Creekside is at was just a field. I think one of my classmates had one little house in that whole field, right? And you know. Yeah. And then there was like a little gas station where Buc-ee's is now, like literally like the 2-pump gas station, right? Like all these things. And I was telling people we're getting an academy, which is cool. We have Dick's Sporting Goods, which is cool. Yeah. But you know, academy's like the Walmart to Target, right? You know, like a little bit less expensive stuff, maybe. I was like, man, we used to have to drive 410 San Antonio.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh my God.
Go to academy. Yeah.
You know what I saw? So I was over there the other day. I was doing I was painting a cowboy pool for somebody, and I had to stop, or I went through that parking lot because of all that construction. And I was like, this is where the academy is? Like, you know, I'm used to them being a freestanding building. We just got one in Bulverde. Okay. And it's humongous, and it's a freestanding building. And I thought to myself, like, this strip center, wow. Yeah. That strip center's been everything, you know, like, and it's been there since we were even talking since the 80s at least, maybe even before that. So. Right.
I know. Yeah, not like the fancy freestandings like San Marcos or Selma or now Bulverde.
Fancy pants.
Fancy. I don't know where this one's going to be here in town. I think Creekside also.
It's in.
Oh no, it's gonna be where Big Lots.
Yeah, where Big Lots was. Yeah.
So in a strip.
Yeah, and I think it's like I'm thinking to myself, how is it gonna be big enough?
I don't know.
I
Big
don't know either.
lots.
Yeah, big lots. I guess so. Or maybe they don't. They look bigger from the outside. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
But
so. Or maybe some stuff around Big Lots is also kind of transitioning out. Who knows?
who knows exactly?
It's gonna be fun. Well, tell me a little bit about that. So you said you painted a cowboy pool.
I
But is
did.
that like a cowboy owns a pool, or you painted like that's the model of pool, or
That's
what
the
is that?
model. So you know the
Okay.
stock tanks. Those stock tanks, they're about 2 feet tall,
Mm-hmm.
between 24, 28 inches. A lot of there's a company called Cowboy Pools,
Okay.
and they make those into a pool.
Gotcha.
And we do so we own a pool and spa cleaning company. We're making it into two now, but Simply B&B is focused towards B&Bs, right? Short-term rentals or any kind of rental, really. Anyway, so these people called me and they said, "Hey, our cowboy pool just started rusting," and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Who's taking care of it?" Because that's always a thing too. Like
Right.
sometimes it's your handyman, sometimes it's your cleaning crew, sometimes it's people that aren't supposed to be handling that.
Yeah.
So they said, "No, it's a professional place." I said, "Okay, let me go check it out." So I went, and it was like
Yeah.
so rusted. It took me 3 days to do everything that I needed to do from start to finish. First time I had ever painted with like direct to metal automotive marine type paint. Got it from a guy out in Canyon Lake that does specialty paints, and it was an experience, that's for sure.
Dang.
Yeah, it turned out really nice.
So that 3-day job is normally an average wear and tear pool. Takes you how long?
Well, like a regular pool that I'm just maintaining and cleaning, an hour. But
Wow.
this one, like, I had to get all the old rust off.
Yeah.
I had to drain it, clean it, get all the old rust off, and that was one whole process in one day.
Sheesh.
And then I had to come back, then sand it all off, because then you have what's called flash rusting, which is, it's not pitted in the metal, but it's appearing. So I had to get all that off the next day, and then I had to make sure it was dry, prep it, and then throw my hand in at the old paint gun.
Yeah.
So,
Dang.
yeah, it turned out really good. I'm impressed. I was super proud of myself. I masked everything off. They had, it's sitting in a deck. So I had to get all that, make sure I wasn't going to overspray onto anything. And I had a respirator. And the funny part is I was mixing the paint, and, when you're using that kind of paint, you don't have an extended period of time. It's like, what did he call it? Pot life is really short because you have a hardener in there.
Okay.
And so I'm mixing it, doing all this stuff, and I'm pouring it into the gun, and I'm not paying attention, and it starts spilling over the other side. So my whole hand, down my sleeve, on the plastic, everywhere. I was like, "Oh my God." And so I just had to go for it. I was like, "Okay, here we go. We're going for it." So I didn't get to clip my respirator. So my nostrils were full of automotive paint.
geez.
Yeah, I was like, man, but lesson learned,
Yeah. You'll remember that checklist next time, right? Like, all right,
Exactly.
let me secure this respirator thing on.
Exactly.
Yeah, I haven't had to deal with that. The only thing that comes to mind that I had to deal with like that, I used to work at Walmart distribution center years and years ago. That was probably my least favorite job. But I worked in the shipping department, and you get there like at 5 a.m. or whatever time, right? 4:30, 5 a.m. You're just loading these 18-wheeler trailers all day, and there's like this, almost like the shopping like thing that moves all the groceries, like this big thing you bring in, and it has all the things, vacuums and gallons of water and all this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Well, you take your break or whatever, you get done with a couple, loads. I'm going to blow my nose, all black from all the dust.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my, and I'm like, I like my hands to be clean. I'm not like super, like I don't have hand sanitizer, but I just like my hands to not feel dirty. Mm-hmm. And that job was the worst for me.
Oh, man. I can, listen, I worked at UPS for about 5 minutes for exactly that reason, right? I was like, this is crazy, like way too much. The consumerism is wild. Yeah, it's nuts.
Well, talking about jobs, I'll tell you other than what I'm currently doing, my most fun job, my second most fun job, right? Because this one's very fun. I get to hang out with cool people like you. I get to help people kind of like start the legacy of their family with their homes and stuff. But before that, my coolest job I ever had was working for the school district in the after-school care department.
Oh, cool.
And so I was 8. I think I was 8. I wanted to be a band director, so I was going to be an educator. And that's where me and my wife met. We met in school. Neither of us are educators right now, other than like we educate people, street education, right?
There you go.
But man, that job was so fun because we'd get there. It was from 2:30 to 6:30, Monday through Friday, so you can do your college classes and then you go to work. And it was me and two guy friends, and then the rest of them were ladies, right? So the kids would get out of school, they come to the cafeteria if they had homework. They'd sit there with the lady teachers, and if they didn't, they'd eat snack and they'd come to the gym with us. That's it. We just get to play gym all afternoon.
That's so fun.
We get paid, I don't know, it's probably like $10 an hour or something, right? But I was like, dude, this job is amazing. And then, we'd go out to the playground and throw the football around and push the, kids on the swings, the littler ones. And that was probably the most fun job.
I bet that sounds fun.
Yeah. It was just like, I don't know. I like kids anyway. Yeah. And I have kids now, but like even then, like hanging around. I guess my youngest brother's 13 years younger than me, so I kind of already was familiar with young kids around that school age. So that was my most fun job. What about you? What's your most, other than now?
My most fun job was, if I go way back, let's go way back. When I was a teenager, it was Schlitterbahn. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, that was the best job.
I worked there, too. Yeah. What'd you do with Schlitterbahn?
Lifeguard.
Okay.
Yeah. So my brother-in-law at the time was the chief dude in charge in the park.
Okay, dang.
And Scott Dicely's his name. He's a good dude, man, and he took good care of that park. And so, but working there and then being, you're Dice's sister-in-law.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, exactly. I was like, does that mean something? I didn't know.
Do you want an extra large fry for free?
Something, right? I was like, then I was like, I always had to be on time and like do the job right, do all those things right, because he was my brother-in-law. So I was like, But that was super fun. That was a lot of fun. And then I've always kind of been in my family. It's a family of entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. So I've always worked in a family business, or I've done sales.
Okay.
Sales I love because you get to meet new people. You go. And I was in like custom iron, doors and railings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you go to some really cool houses and you meet some really different people. Like all of them do crazy things. And the only part I didn't like about that is that, like, anytime you're selling something, I always am gonna do what I said. Mm-hmm. And there was a problem because everything was produced in Mexico, and sometimes it would get hung up at the border for whatever reason.
Right.
And we're talking not just like days, but sometimes weeks or whatever just was happening. And then they would be like, well, just tell them, when an order wasn't ready, and especially when you're working with a builder, because everybody's set up on time, like this goes this day, this goes this day, this, and then you have to rearrange everybody if it doesn't work out. Well, just tell them, make up a lie. And I was like, I can't do that, man.
Right.
Like, that's what drove me crazy. But I loved doing that, meeting people. That was the other part of that, just meeting lots of people.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite things, even about now, like doing mortgage and real estate stuff and networking and having conversations and just being, I don't know, I was praying earlier. I was like, just be a beacon of light. I like to be a beacon of light wherever I'm at, whoever I'm hanging out with, or a group, or in a room. And I like try to, I get my joy from the Lord, right? I try to make sure that I'm a good representation. I did a video just the other day with Matt and a friend of ours, G, he's a realtor. And that was the whole thing. Like, when you get hired on as a employee anywhere, right? They always tell you, all right, you represent the company, right? Your actions and the way that you carry yourself, and you want to be a good representation. And it's the same way, like, that I feel just in my everyday life, right? Like, I try to be a good representation of the Kavanaugh crew because they're amazing people, but they're also followers of Christ. Like, we are the same type of people, and then we just try to do the best we can to be joyful, loving, peaceful, and a good representation.
I love that, and that's the total vibe you gave off when I met you the first time. Like, you came right up to me. You're like, "Hi, my name's Andrew."
Yeah.
Like, you were so pleasant and so inviting. Mm-hmm. That's definitely the vibe that you give, which is so awesome.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and that's even great to know about. I've only seen Matt talk that one time at the thing, but I really liked what he had to say. And I tell you what, so like, I was thinking about this the other day when my mom, when I was growing up, she was like, guilt by association. Who you hang out with,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what, if you're doing it or not,
Yeah.
guilt by association. And I started thinking about it, I said, man, it goes both ways. Guilt by association the other way, right? Where you're hanging out with people that represent what you believe, what you want to portray, all the things that you just mentioned, being in Christ, being all those things. If you hang out with those people, that's what your life will improve just from meeting someone like you that's positive, that's genuine, and that's what I feel like we need right now. A lot of that.
And that's this bunch of different things, in my professional career, because I've done life insurance sales. I've done, I worked as a retailer, and but the thing that on these trainings that you hear is the thermometer thing. You're familiar with it, right? Like always be the thermostat, right? You control the temperature. Don't allow, and I know, like, even myself, once in a while, like, if somebody I feel is off, like, okay, I try not to let it affect me, or let it affect my spirit or my mood or the energy. But you can control it, right? Like, you can control whether or not you are going to be thinking about something that you're potentially worried about, or focusing on something different.
Yeah.
So just be a thermostat. Control the temperature, control the energy as much as you can.
Yeah.
Right? Like, something happens in your life, it's totally understandable. We're human, and we're gonna have emotions that come up. But ultimately, you have the choice, right? Like, if you are sad, that's it's fine to be sad about certain things, but to continue to be sad. But the one thing that I talk to, not a lot, but I do like to think about often when I talk to people, is anxiety or worry. Like, there's a quote that basically is like, you're wasting your energy on something that hasn't happened.
Yep.
Like,
yeah. It tells you straight up in the Bible, don't do it.
Yeah.
Because there's no point for it, right? You have no idea what's going to happen. That famous line that says, man plans, God laughs, or something like that.
Yeah, I get it.
And it's the truth, right? Because you can worry yourself to death, and depending on what kind of outlook you have on whatever it is you're worrying about, you're creating these scenarios.
Yep.
And 99 times out of 10, that scenario didn't even go the way you thought it was going to go.
For sure.
And you sat there and was like, oh,
Yeah. I had a conversation with a friend earlier too, and it's like, we can pray, and we should pray. We should pray daily. We should pray often. But prayer doesn't, like, I'm praying for a financial increase. Well, God's not a genie. He's not going to boom, hey, there's $200,000 in your bank account. But what God's going to do is going to give you the opportunity. He's going to give you the connections. He's going to give you the relationships. He's going to give you the vision of, hey, this is what I want to put my effort towards, and I'm going to continue to pray for it. I'm going to continue to give God the glory in all the things that I do. Hey, this life lesson, like my wife and I, we're going through something right now. We're trying to buy a home, right? Mm-hmm. And we had the opportunity, but we were obedient to not rush into it because it's not the right time. Like, can we do it? Yes. But just because you can doesn't mean you should. And we learned that Matt's a great mentor. Like, Matt and I have been friends for probably 9 years now. We met at church, and that's how we became close. And then I've been working with him for 3 years. So our friendship started outside of us working together, and our families kind of living life together and doing things and going on vacations and kids hanging out. But he told us that, and he was kind of, he's our guide, like our mentor in a lot of different realms, financially, spiritually. But we throw things back and forth at each other. And that's one thing he said, like, just because you can doesn't mean you should, right? I can eat this entire medium pizza, but I shouldn't.
But I shouldn't,
right?
Exactly. And that's what you were saying about, like, you can't, God will provide, but you can't sit on your laurels, right? He's not a genie. Mm-mm. It's the opportunity, and then you have to put in the work. That's how that goes, right? Yeah. That's like what the disciples had to do, right? They had to spread the word. They had to put in the work. And, yeah.
It's like I was telling a friend of mine, like, even a more, like, give it a funny take or a simple take, the movie Evan Almighty, the one with Steve Carell. So, like, Morgan Freeman portrays God in the movie, right? And then towards the end, have you seen the movie? Mm-hmm. Spoilers if you haven't seen it, guys. Sorry, it's like 20-year-old movie. But he, Morgan Freeman's there with the wife, like at a diner, right? And he's telling him he's telling her this little phrase of things like, if you pray for courage, God doesn't give you courage. He gives you the opportunity to be courageous, right? If you pray for time with your family, he doesn't fill you up with warm and fuzzies. Like, he gives you the opportunity. He presents those things. And in that case, it was like Noah's Ark, right? Building the ark, being a family together.
Yeah.
And so it's like prayer and works. You have to put in the works.
Yep.
And also continue to give God glory and to say, thank you for revealing that I should or shouldn't do this. Thank you for the ability to do this. And then even, have you seen the show The Chosen?
I don't know.
So it's a story of like Jesus right before he started to gather the disciples. It's a pretty cool show. And there's some little side stories, like just for theatrics in the show. And some people will be like, oh, the show's not 100% biblically, historically accurate. It's a good show still. Mm-hmm. But there's a part where, I forget the guy. Oh, Little James. So there's Big James and there's Little James. And Little James has like a limp in the show. And I don't know if, you look in the Bible if he really does. But Jesus has been healing people and he's been performing miracles and gets, a little ways down. And James and him have a conversation. And he's like, why haven't you healed me? Right. And he says, I don't remember word for word, but it's like, you haven't asked for it really, but your faith and then your praise, glorifying God, even going through this is going to be a greater testimony, right? Like to go through hard time and overcome it and continue to be faithful. That's great.
That is. And that's a life lesson. Like right there, you just made me think about that. Like went through some really hard times. And that's, of course, when I got the closest to God. And I was like, man, because I had nothing else. When you have nothing else, desperation, and that's where, I really got into it. And then things got better. And then I forgot. And I didn't make time for it. And then things went south real quick. You know what I mean? Like, and every single day I pray. Every single day I say thank you. I probably need to work on, like, other things, but
you pray for wisdom, pray for strength.
I get scared to pray sometimes because some days I'm like, I do not want to get tested today. Like,
oh, man. It's funny, like you say, scared to pray, or like because like there's power, right? There's power and there's life and death in the tongue. It's funny. My wife has a prayer book, right? And now we're currently, expecting a child. Mm-hmm. She's pregnant. We're due in December, and last year. We have like family prayers or like, hey, we're believing for this, this, and that. And my daughter, in her handwriting, wrote in there, a new baby.
Oh, wow.
So my wife was like, I don't know if we're going to let her write in the book again. I was like, hey, let's let her write in the book. Like, man, if it's God's will, and that's what we always pray. Like, people have asked, like, because we're both 39 now, like, was it an accident? Is it planned? Did you this and that? I'm like, it was never like, it's not an accident, and it wasn't necessarily planned. It was, if God blesses us with a baby, we will love the baby, accept the baby. We're not going to think anything differently. And if it's not God's will right now or any longer, now that we're getting older in age, okay, we're fine with what God's will is for our life.
Exactly. God's will be done.
Yeah.
Right.
And if he wants us to have one more, we'll have one more.
There you go. There you go.
If we want to have 10 kids, we'll have to continue to pray for strength and peace. But it's like talking about praying, like writing things down. Even Alicia, Matt's wife, my boss, right? I forget, they said it one time too, like, when she writes it down, if she writes it down in a prayer, like, it's powerful.
It is. And I'm telling you, so people laugh at me because I'll tell them that, like, I don't tell the general public this, but I guess I am right now.
Yeah, come on.
So, like, if I think about something hard enough, it will happen. Yeah. And generally speaking, I don't put energy in that, like to get things out, but I'll refer to, like, if I haven't talked to somebody in, I don't know, months, years even, I'll think about them and then they'll just be in my mind. And then somehow within like 24 hours, that person we're in contact. Right. Or I'm in the car and I'm thinking, oh man, I really want to hear this song. And it'll come on.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, man, I really got to be careful with this, because of course, we've all done, like, I need God, please give me strength. And then 5 people died. Like, whoa. Yeah. Okay, hold on. You know what I mean? That was a little intense, sir.
Yeah. You know? I need you now.
Yeah, no, literally. Yeah. And I get, maybe we have to look at it like that too, right? Is that and that I made it through all of that without any of my past biting me in the butt, right? So I'm a recovering addict. And that was a real instance. That wasn't just a example. Like 5 people in my immediate family did pass away everybody unexpectedly. And I was like, man, if I can make it through this, because my personality is that I'm the fixer, right? Like, I may not know exactly what I'm talking about, but somebody calls me and they tell me they have a problem, I'm going to help you fix it, right? Give you some advice, show you what I've been through, show you what I did, something. And when that all happened, I could not fix anything for anybody. And that was really hard on me. I was like, man, I'm used to being able to fix stuff. Right. Like, if I can fix your mood, if I can fix whatever, your door frame, whatever you need, I'm going to try to fix it for you, or show you. But that really tested whatever that is in me, I guess, showing me like, hey, you can't fix everything, but you can prevail and not fall into old habits or run away from me, right? Because that's ultimately what I was doing when I was younger, trying to fix myself and run away from God.
Right.
Honestly.
Yeah. So. Well, that's a good testimony, though.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, I never looked at it that way.
For sure. I mean, there's we go through things and seasons and trials in our lives because if you answer the call, you're called to help somebody. And if somebody's watching this and they're like, hey, I relate to that, like, reach out. Like, whatever your situation may be, if you've had, dealt with, drugs or whatever it may be, there's somebody who's overcome it, like yourself, that can be there, can be that beacon of light that somebody needs. They say, or I've heard people say, right, the only Jesus that some people may ever see is the Jesus in you. Mm-hmm. And that's goes back to the whole thing, like, be a good representation. You represent the company is heaven. Like,
there you go.
The CEO is God and Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit, and try to be as good a representation. We are flawed individuals, the human race, right? We're not perfect, and we can't say that we are. Nobody is, only Jesus. But we can continue to strive to be like Jesus. WWJD, what would Jesus do, right? Even lessons like when my kids were a little younger, like, they didn't grasp hey, Jesus is here, like, the Holy Spirit is with you. So, like, don't treat your sister, bad, or your brother, right? This and that. So I had to shift it. And I said, okay, my pastor is named Pastor G, Pastor Gerard. I go, all right, would you do that if Pastor G was here? No. I was like, okay, well, that's Jesus.
There you go.
Yeah, don't do that. So, and like I said, everybody, we can slip up here and there, but just be that representation.
Absolutely.
That's good. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I guess I don't even think about it, but I need to be probably more conscious of it. I think I do it so in our business, I get really big up on the safety portion of, especially the short-term rentals, right? Mm-hmm. Because people can get sick from bad water in the hot tubs and the smaller pools. Like, it's a serious thing. People can really get sick. And so sometimes I'll get a call and somebody will ask me, X, Y, and Z. And then they're like, and I said, listen, I'm going to give you I want to talk with you and give you some information. And they're like, well, how much does that cost? And I'm like, nothing.
Yeah.
I would rather you and the public be safe and give you all this information that I've, worked to get for free, and you not be my client. Do whatever you need to do. Just be safe,
Yeah.
And I somebody told me that that's called a servant's heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh, I just think of it, just like, well.
But that's totally fine because it's, I'm assuming, right, and we're not going to get into the details, but I'm assuming that your business is doing well and you guys are going to continue to grow, and it's because you're helping people. You're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And
There you
the
go.
right thing doesn't always necessarily turn into immediate financial increase, right? But it can. But that's not why you do it. You do it because you're like, hey, I want to make sure to help you out,
Yep.
Here at, the Kavanaugh Crew all the time, like we'll get agents that'll call that they're currently in a transaction with another lender, and there's something that lender is having difficulty with, and the agent will call because they know, Matt and Alicia, they know what they're doing. Like,
Top notch.
I'm glad to be learning from them, and Matt will help this other person, hey, try this, do this and that, boom, and they'll close the deal. We get $0 from it.
That's really cool.
But Matt's like, no, somebody gets to go move into a home. Somebody gets to do that for their family, and they get to be in that building where they're going to create memories and celebrate holidays and birthdays and, love and loss and all the things, right? And that's like the big picture. And it comes back, it'll come back, sure, yeah. Like, I have this thing that I tell my wife a lot. We talk about, I'm very, very super optimistic. Like, there's little worry that I have about anything, even financially. I'm like, God's going to take care of me. Mm-hmm. I'm God's child. I'm like, it's going to work out. Mm-hmm. Do I know how? I don't. A lot of the times I don't know how. How have we made it through? And we were together. We've been together 18 years. I'm like, it's just God, man. He's just taking care of us. And yes, we're not, just sitting at home. Like, we're doing work and we're helping people and serving the Lord. And, but childlike faith is what I call it.
Yeah.
It's got that childlike faith. Like, I'm God's child. Like, you have children, right?
Mm-hmm,
I have children. Like, they don't worry about how they're going to eat because I'm providing for them, but my provider provides for me. So, like, it's the, what's it, like a tree or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
It comes down, but I don't worry. I just have faith.
That's all you can do. And, if I looking back, like things that I get worried about, some, financial stuff, right? Where I'm like, oh my God, are we going to have enough money this month or whatever? Because it happens, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I care, but if whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and it's all going to be fine. There's a reason. There's a reason behind it, and it's all going to be fine. And then you think of Job, right, and losing everything and him still having the faith, right? Like, okay, there's a reason for all this. And it's like, I just don't, the material things, the older I get and the harder I work and the more, I guess, the better relationship that I have with God, I just don't care about the material stuff. It's nice to have, and yes, blah, 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 but it's like, I don't. If I can make things as simple as possible, I think that's where it's at.
Heck yeah.
Like,
a nice, and like, we say nice and like words like comfortable come up, but it's like life is comfortable and uncomfortable in different seasons and things like that, but, it's just, there's a phrase that I used in one of my other videos about The Office, the show The Office.
Yeah.
Did you see that one? So it was like, I wish we knew we were in the good old days when we were actually in them, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's about today. It's about you and I talking here right now, and who knows, SiriusXM picks us up and like, hey, those two people, let's go give them $50 million deals to come in this studio and record people for the next 2 years. Like, okay, cool. But, us sitting here in this little office with a phone and a couple of mics, right? Like, this is the journey.
Yeah.
And then the next thing that we do and the next encounter and the next event or whatever we have the opportunity to be a part of, whether it goes the way we want it to or not, it's part of the journey.
It is. I like that. I like that outlook. That's my husband's outlook. Like, he's super chill.
Yeah.
And just like, it's always going to work out. That's what he tells me. It's always going to work out.
I love it.
I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I
But it's kind of good. Like you have him for that reason.
Yep.
And he has you for, like, I'm solely grateful for my wife
Yeah.
because her mind is totally different than mine. And,
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like sometimes, when we're going at it, like arguing, quote unquote, it's just, we're just not agreeing on how to do something.
Yeah.
Like we're striving for the same outcome, but our brains work differently. His works one way, mine works a totally different way. And we're trying to get to the same thing, but we can't agree on how to get there. And it's so dumb. If sometimes I would just sit back and be like, either way, whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, man. Well, this has been fun. This has been a good, fun little conversation. Maybe we'll have to do it again because I feel there's more things to talk about and more stories to but we want to make sure that I value your time and we value the time of the people watching this thing. We had a little interruption, so I had to restart the video midway through, but it'll all work out.
Yep, it will. Exactly.
It'll all work out.
Exactly.
It's all going to be fine.
Yeah.
People are going to hear what they're meant to hear.
That's right. I love it. Thank you so much for having me.
Last thing, you can do shameless plug for your business or businesses.
Oh, okay. So I'm LeAnn Knipe with my husband Rick, and we have Ruben and Millie as well, and Jaden helps when he's not in school. We own Simply B&B Hot Tubs and Pools, as well as Simply Pool Balance, which is like, do you have a pool?
I do not.
Have you ever heard of people taking their water samples to Leslie's?
Yeah.
It's free. And you go in, you take a water sample, they print you out a report. So we have that, but mobile.
Cool.
Yeah, we just launched that, so I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
Hopefully it can help some people out.
Yeah.
Have nice water.
Well, if you got a pool, any pool, reach
pool.
out.
Yeah.
To LeAnn Knipe with a K.
Yep.
Simply B&B, and I would guess what area, like New Braunfels,
New Braunfels, Austin, San Antonio, Boulevardy.
Yeah.
We are pretty much the whole hill
like
country.
maybe 75-mile radius or something like that.
I think so. Cedar Park is our furthest.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if you're watching this, give her a call, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Cool.
Like we're on the phone.